Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Lala and you're watching Lala Level Up. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. So this takes back a minute ago. So me and this girl, I don't even know what I'm gonna name her. Let's name her Attitude, because she already just gave me a stink ass attitude. So this is a girl I used to date back in the day. And me and her just always would get into it. Like, even when we weren't dating and we would just remain friends, we would just always get into it. I don't know why we stayed cool for so long when clearly we just didn't need to be cool. Because we'd always get in fights, get in arguments, have disagreements. Honestly, I always felt like she never respected me and she just didn't treat me the way you should treat a person. Like, I just felt like she was rude and not kind to me. And even years later, she acknowledged the same thing, that she used to treat me like shit. So yeah, that's that on that. I should have been stopped talking to her, but you live and you learn, right? So during this time in my life, I was very Christian. Like, I was trying to live down a religious path. And I was very into my faith, and I was supposed to be getting baptized this day. And before I was getting baptized, I went to go hang out with Attitude, which I later ended up regretting. We went to a park and we were just taking a walk. It was like a really pretty day that day. So we were outside just taking a walk. Somehow, her and I just got into an argument. Like, it could be the smallest thing. It could be like a misunderstanding and it would just turn into like this big thing. It would just get blown out of proportion every single time. And I wouldn't back down either. You're not about to disrespect me, even though she would just keep disrespecting me. So like, we started getting like this little back and forth to where like she really starts yelling at me. Mind you, we're at this very public park in my hometown and it's a very nice day in the middle of this summer. There's a lot of people outside. People are there with their families. There's a lot of kids around. And she is like, starts to like scream at me. And she's like standing very close in my face. And I just feel like you're doing too much. You're being very disrespectful and aggressive for like no reason. Like, the reason was so small that I can't even think about it to this day. I just know it was some misunderstanding. And at first, I was trying to de-escalate the situation because we are very much in a public place. And 9 times out of 10, I know somebody around me in the area, and that's like very ghetto and ratchet. Like, I don't want to be in public arguing with you, like ex-girlfriend, girlfriend or not. Like, it's not giving that ever. At this point, like, I just want to leave. I'm like, girl, like, I want to leave. Like, I'm literally about to get baptized today. Like, I'm not trying to have no negative energy around me. I'm not trying to be arguing with anybody. Like, I'm literally supposed to be dedicating my life to the Lord today. Like, I don't even know why I'm hanging out with you in the first place. I should just go home, right? When me and her first met up, I had parked my car at the mall and then I hopped in her car, and then from there we went to the park. So my car was not with me. My car was still at the mall. We had pulled up to the park in her car. So we ended up walking back to her car. The argument just continues to escalate. I get into her car, and then, like, she's trying to, like, drive off, like, with me, like, half out of the car. Like, it's like I was trying to get my bag out of her car, and, like, she's trying to drive while half of my body is still inside of the car. Attitude is literally trying to pull off with half of my body still inside the car. And it's like, girl, is there something mentally wrong with you? Because what are you so upset about that, like, you will not let me grab my belongings out of the car, so much so that you're willing to, like, hit me with your car or, like, get me injured because you're trying to, like, reverse and drive off all crazy? Like, girl, let me get my shit and then you can leave. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, and it's so crazy how people could turn from 1 minute being your best friend or lovey-dovey with you or whatever it is to the ops. Like, you literally go from someone I'm sleeping with, caring about, to like the opposition. Like, you, girl, you ready to cut my head off? Like, you know? So I'm just like, okay, girl, you're crazy. So then this girl ends up like driving off and just like leaves me at this park. And she knows my car is mad far from where I am. And it's like, how effed up can you be? Like, and I'm on a very close time limit. Like, I literally need to be getting baptized around like 4 p.m. At this time, it was probably like 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I had to get to my car, then get all the way to my church, which was in a whole nother town. So I'm just feeling so upset, and I'm just like, God, talk to me. Like, what is it giving? Like, I'm trying to follow you, I'm trying to do right by you, and now I got caught up in this situation, hanging out with this woman shouldn't even been hanging out with in the first place. And now she literally just left me stranded. And it's like, girl, you can be mad at me if you want, but drop me back off at my car. Like, it's not even given that. It was never given calling you out of your name, putting my hands on you. So it's like, why? Well, not in this story time. So, so it's like, why are you acting like you can't bring me back to my car? Like, I don't know. I just feel like you cannot care about me and just leave me stranded like that for like no real significant reason other than you're just upset with me in the moment. You're just mad. So you're just going to leave me stranded way far from my car. Like, okay. And at this time, like Ubers and Lyft was not like a thing. Like it was really not a thing. So I'm like, yo, that's mad crazy, but I'm gonna just figure it out. So I literally just start walking to the mall, and it wasn't unbelievably far from where I was, but it was still far. Like, me walking is gonna take me like, bruh, like an hour, if not more. Like, it was far. Like, in a car, no. Walking, yeah. I told y'all I'm on a time limit, and it's mad hot in the summer, and I'm just like, what could be worse than this, you know? So I'm literally walking. I'm walking down the street. I'm going to the mall. Some men trying to holler at me. These trying to talk to me. And typically, I would pay the men on the street trying to talk to me no mind at all. Like, not even look your way for real. So then I think, no, girl, you need to respond to them so you can get to your car. Like, ask them to bring you to your car. So me being crazy, these random men that I do not know from anywhere, they're trying to talk to me, and I'm like, hey, you think you can do me a favor? And they're like, what's up? I'm like, can you please bring me to my car? Like, it's a long story, but my friend just left me stranded at this park, and I'm trying to get to my car because I'm trying to get baptized today. And I'm like giving them the whole like summary of the story that just happened. And they're like, yeah, I got you. So I'm like, oh, thank God. So at this point, like, I was low key, maybe like halfway there to the mall. So I got in the car with these guys. It was like 2-3 dudes too. Like, yo, don't ever do what I did. Do not get in the car with no random men that you don't know. Please do not do that, ladies or men. And I got into the car, and then they drove me to the mall. I'm like, thank God. So they're like, where your car at? And I couldn't remember where I parked my car. I'm like, I know it's somewhere around here, so I'm gonna just figure it out. Like, I don't know, maybe it's by Macy's. I don't know, just drop me off here. So they dropped me off, and I like started like walking like to where I thought my car was. Well, as I'm walking to my car, lo and behold, guess who I end up seeing in the parking lot? Oh, you guessed it. It was Attitude. This girl literally left me stranded at the park just for me to see her chilling up in her car in the parking lot at the mall, just smoking a blunt, chilling. Like, having no care, no concern that I'm stranded at the park, no way to my car, and you literally left me there and drove down to where my car was. Like, what a bitch. Like, you're a bitch. If you see this, like, you're a bitch. Respectfully, disrespectfully. So, yeah, period. Because what is, like, what? So I end up seeing this girl, and I'm like dumbfounded. I'm like, yo. And I'm like, you know what? How good is God that, girl, you thought you was going to leave me stranded. You thought you was going to, like, leave me and just dub me. And I end up catching up with your ass. You thought you was going to leave me there. You didn't think 20 minutes later I'd be in the same parking lot as you. You thought I was still going to be up by that park trying to figure out how I was going to figure it out, right? But no, by the goodness of God, I got my ass down there, and I seen you just chilling, smoking, having no care and concern. Like, you're such a bitch, you bitch. So, so then I end up seeing her, and I start walking to her car, and she spots me, and like, she ends up getting scared, and she like reverses her car and is like trying to drive away, and I'm just screaming at her, and I'm like, why are you driving away? Why are you driving away? I'm like, you're fake. You're fake. You can't even face me. You don't love me. You don't care about me. You don't respect me. Like, I'm literally just screaming at her. She's in her car being very pussy, trying to drive away from me. And I'm just like, she's driving very slow though. And I'm like screaming at her. And I'm just like, you don't love me. You don't care about me. And I'm just, because at first I was like, keep talking shit, but I didn't want her to just feed off. I wanted to get close to her car. I didn't have no master plan. I wasn't even going to hit her or nothing. I just literally was just saying what I was saying. But she didn't want me to walk up to her. Like, she didn't want me to get up to her car because she knew she just did some fucked up shit to me. And she knows I don't play that shit. So she knows, or she at least thought, that she was going to get her ass whooped. And at first, that's what I was saying to her. I was like, bitch, come get your ass whooped. Get out the car, hoe. Like, at first I was saying that, and then, like, I turned it around and was just like, you don't love me, you don't care about me. But, like, yeah, it was a fact. You don't, and you didn't, and it was definitely given all of that. But I'm just like, how pissy are you? Like, you can't even, you did some effed up shit to me, left me stranded on the day of my baptism. Like, you're the devil. Sorry, not sorry. Like, you literally in that moment was the devil trying to stop me from giving my life to God. Like, dead ass. Like, literally. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, so long story short, I cussed her out. I was grateful I got to my car. Bitch was pussy, still never got out the car, still could never address me, didn't even apologize, didn't give a fuck. And I'm dumb as fuck because time went by and I ended up fucking with her again, talking to her again. I have way more stories about attitude. Don't worry, they're coming. I was very dumb, admittedly. But I have grace on myself. I forgive myself for things, you know, whatever. But God is good. And I ended up getting to my baptism. I got in my car. I got home. I took a shower. I got my life together. And I went and I gave my life to God that day. I got baptized and it was a very beautiful experience. So, yeah, that was my story about the time that I linked up with my ex-girlfriend. And she left me stranded at the park because she was stank and just mad as fuck. So that was my story. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you love my makeup. I tried to do something different. And yeah, what else? Make sure you like the video, like to help my channel. Comment in the comments, leave a comment, leave an emoji, whatever you want. And thank you so much for being here. I love you and I appreciate all of your support. And as always, you can be, do, and have whatever you desire. You are limitless. Until next time, LALA level up.